Can you talk about the similarities, though, in their greatness? What makes them very similar in that regard?
Well, I feel really blessed to have coached both those guys. LeBron as an assistant coach for 5 years when I was in Cleveland, and now 8 years with Nikola. And you guys around here have heard me say often that I see many similarities. You take away the athleticism, which is a striking difference, but their IQ, their feel for the game, seeing things before they happen, their ability to make everyone around them better, and just their personalities. I just very, very, very similar players, and it's funny because it shows you there's a lot of different ways to be great. You can be one of the greatest players of all time, like LeBron, a tremendous athlete, or you can be, not maybe a great athlete like Nikola, but still have the IQ, still have the ability to make everyone around you better. And both those guys take the greatest joy in making a play for somebody else. And that's something that I've always admired about LeBron and Nikola. And the last thing I'll say is their work ethic. LeBron never got enough credit for his work ethic because everybody thought it came easy for him because he was such a freak coming out of high school, but his work ethic is second to none. And being around Nikola for 8 years and seeing him and his approach and how he's matured and what he does every day, that is what allows both those guys to be as consistent as they are.
Peyton Manning used to call it a healthy obsession with being great. Do you see that in Nikola?
Say it again, Kiss.
Peyton Manning used to call it a healthy obsession with being great. Do you see that in both LeBron and
Yeah.
Jokic?
I think some people are afraid of greatness, because with that comes a tremendous amount of responsibility. You know what I mean? Like, that's why good is the enemy of great, because good is pretty damn good. But there's not many great teams, there's not many great players, there's not many great companies, whatever you will. And I think for LeBron, it's at this stage of his career, still finding ways to impact the game and play at the level he's playing at. That just shows you the dedication, the discipline to his craft on and off the court, how he takes care of his body. And for Nikola, obviously, when he first came over here, he was close to 300 pounds. And we've seen it up close and personal, just in his 8 years, how he has morphed himself into the best player that he can possibly be. And he hasn't slowed down. He continues to find ways to push the envelope and become a better player, a better leader. So yes, being obsessed with improvement and greatness is what allows the upper crust, if you will, to continue to separate themselves.
Michael, the Denver Nuggets, as fans would know, have a long, unfortunate history against these Lakers. How much more meaningful would it be to finally break through this time around against this team this way?
Well, obviously, I didn't grow up a lifelong Nuggets fan, so I can't totally feel what our fans have felt for many, many years. Knowing the history, well aware of it, knowing that in the bubble we fell short against these very same Lakers. For me, getting to the finals is all that matters. The fact that it is the Lakers makes it probably that much more special for a lot of people that support us. And if that's going to allow Ball Arena to be that much more excited and crazy, then I'm all for it. But I'm proud of our guys for getting to this point, but we're not satisfied. We know we have a lot of work in front of us against a very good team in the LA Lakers, and have to give Darvin Ham a lot of credit for a first-year head coach doing the job he's done, staying the course all year long, and getting that team to this point.
What do you see as the key battlegrounds in the series?
I think it always does, but especially against them, transition is such a huge part of their attack. If we allow this series to be a track meet, it's definitely going to be in their favor, Adam. So making sure that we, one, continue to take care of the ball at a high level, because you don't want to fuel their break. LeBron is a one-man fast break still. So we got to take away the transition. And then in the half court, we got to defend the paint. This team averages 50 in the paint in the playoffs, which is second behind us. In our 4 regular season meetings, they average 53 in the paint. How do they get that? They get it through pick and rolls, they get it through ISOs, and a heavy dose of post-up opportunities for AD and LeBron. And the last part would be defending without fouling. LeBron and AD get there a ton. They closed that game against the Warriors. They had 42 free throw attempts. In their wins, they averaged 27. And they have guys in D'Lo, Reeves, Schroeder, who do a tremendous job of drawing fouls. So just being ultra disciplined to not put them on the foul line and set the #1 defense in the playoffs every possession.
Coach, now that you're this close in the roster you have, do you personally feel any pressure just, to make this happen this season?
No, I don't think, we don't look at this as pressure. We look at this as fun. We look at it as an opportunity. We're finally healthy, which we haven't been the last 2 postseasons. So we all understand that when we started the year off, our goal was not to get to the Western Conference Finals. Our goal is to win a championship. We're 8 wins away from doing that. We have a great challenge in front of us. We took care of Minnesota. We took care of Phoenix. Great, but I wouldn't use the word pressure. I think our guys understand what's at stake, the opportunities in front of us, and let's enjoy this process and continue to play the way we played for the first 2 rounds.
What's for you personally?
No, it's just another great opportunity. I mean, it's I understand this business. You look around the coaching landscape. If you wanted a secure profession, coaching is not the one to get into. I should have been a TV reporter. We're just having fun with this, man. It's a great opportunity. We're one of 4 teams left, and I couldn't be with a better group of coaches and players than the ones that I have.
What's the most important way this team is either more mature or more talented than it was last time you went to the Western Conference?
Well, obviously we have we're more playoff tested. Obviously Jamal hasn't been in the playoffs until this year since the bubble, but other guys have gotten more opportunities to play. Nikola's become a 2-time MVP in that span. The guys that we have added, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who was with the Lakers last time, defending where he was a world champion, Bruce Brown. But also, I think, kids, the thing that stands out to me is the veterans that we have in this group are just, you could not ask for a better group than DeAndre Jordan, than Jeff Green, than Ish Smith, than KCP. We have guys that have totally checked the egos at the door. We understand we have a chance to accomplish something special. Get over yourself. It's not about you as an individual. It's about the collective unit. And guys have really bought into that. And that's really been impactful through the regular season and even more so now in the playoffs.
Is Nikola a vastly different guy this time around facing AD than he was in the bubble?
A guy or a player? Or I can't say vastly. I mean, Nikola has just, to me, been a definition of greatness for a while now. The consistency in which he plays at, the level he plays at, is just, you marvel at that at sometimes. He's changed, he's married, he's a father, he's matured. I'm sure the game is continuing to slow down for him, but he was great in the bubble. Jamal was great in the bubble, and Nikola is still doing things that very few guys in NBA history have done. The series he just came out of against Phoenix, averaging a triple-double, was just incredible. So, but I think being a father and being a husband has kind of allowed him to mature and become a little bit more wise.
And this time you'll have them on your home court. Does the altitude play a factor, and how do you use it to your advantage?
Well, we want to run. I know everybody talks about the Lakers being a running team, but we've been a very good running team through the regular season and through the first 2 rounds. So we want to get out and run. So we have the home court advantage because of our fans, but as you mentioned, the altitude. So any chance we get, we want to push the pace. They're a running team, and sometimes the best thing you can do against a running team is run against them. And make them not be one-way runners, make sure they're getting back as well. And if the altitude kicks in and makes it hard for those guys, LeBron's getting a little older, so maybe the altitude will be a little tougher on him.
Michael, there was a couple times in that Phoenix series where it looked like we got down into a defensive stance on the sidelines. I'm just wondering, how would you describe your competitiveness and your competitive edge, and how do you think it affects or seeps into whatever's going on here?
Well, was it a defensive stance, or was I trying to catch my breath?
If the altitude was an issue, then...
Well, that's the best thing about not wearing suits anymore.
You can get down?
I mean, I can get in the stance, but I can guard. One thing I love is playing defense. So yeah, I get into the game. Sometimes I'm living the possession on the sideline. I think the players probably laugh at it, but also appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, I've been told I'm a little competitive at times, and I think our players understand that.
Everybody?
Yeah, everybody. But you know, you got to be true to yourself, and I'm just thankful to be in this situation with a wonderful group of players and coaches. As I said before.
Nikola told us that the timeout when you're ahead like 23 in the last game. He said nobody listens to you when you're mad. Or, and then he said he was kidding. But
Well, I don't know if they could hear me. As you can still tell, I'm still trying to get over this, whatever I had. You know, but I think obviously doing my job to make sure up 30, they cut it to 23, and not playing the same way and nipping things in the bud. And sometimes I probably have to give them more room. You know, like Phil Jackson would let Michael and Scotty figure it out on their own. I don't think we have Michael and Scotty right now. So I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make sure I'm keeping our guys, you know, heading in the right direction and keeping our eyes on the prize. And that's what coaching is, in my opinion.
that's very Pop too.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, Pop hit me up after that series and he said, hey, you're doing a hell of a job. And once again, he always hits me with, you know, coach your players up and make sure they know you love them. And I think that's one thing, if I'm going to be like that, if I'm going to call those timeouts, the other timeouts have to be positive, encouraging, and letting the guys know how much I care about them and love them. Because that's the only way you can coach like that. And I know you guys call them rage timeouts. You know, but
Never done that.
I mean, I don't know where the rage is coming from.
I don't either. You would know better than me, man. We need a bigger facility.
Hey, you like that?
Yes.
Come on. Thanks, Coach. Good luck.